Suicide Prevention Day, celebrated annually on the 10th of September, is organized by the International Association for Suicide Prevention and is endorsed by the World Health Organization. The event represents a global commitment to focus attention on suicide prevention. The theme of World Suicide Prevention Day 2021, Creating Hope Through Action, reflects the need for collective action to address this urgent public health issue. All of us, as family members, friends, co-workers, community members, educators, mentors, can take action to prevent suicide. With already existing risk factors contributing towards suicide, it has been further amplified by the COVID-19 pandemic. 1 year past the pandemic, more than half of people surveyed in the world have reported that their mental health, in fact, has gotten worse. So the overall goal of this day is to raise an awareness about suicide prevention and how we as a community can be more sensitive to mental health issues at home, at school, at college and at workplace. Thank you.
You are needed and your presence is essential to your family, your friends and basically your whole world. Although it might not look so right now, I want to just say your pain is real and your struggle is real. As a person who struggled with suicidal ideations many years ago, it is vital to believe that you were not born to drown. And it is also paramount to believe that suicide does not end the chances of life getting worse. Suicide eliminates the possibility of it ever getting better.
Prevention of suicide. How can we help in preventing suicide? There are certain general advices that could be given to everyone and anyone going through any suicidal crisis.
Take suicidal talk seriously. When people talk about suicide in vague generalities, it's easy to dismiss it as idle talk and let it go. However, people who talk about suicide are a high-risk group and their veiled threats should not be ignored. Also, we must provide empathy and social support. It's important to show the suicidal person that you care. People often contemplate suicide because they see the world around them as indifferent and uncaring. Hence, you must demonstrate to the suicidal person that you are genuinely concerned. Even if you are thrust into a situation where you barely know the suicidal person, you need to provide empathy. Suicide threats are often a last-ditch cry for help. It is important and imperative to offer help to people.
In the past month, I came across 3 suicide cases that my friends and family told me about. 2 of which were 2 18-year-old girls studying medicine who decided to take their own life because of immense study pressure. The other one was a mother of 2 who lost her life to depression. The number of suicide cases in these recent times have been baffling. I think we should stop using the phrase committed suicide as it sounds like a crime. Depression is a disease, as we all know, and should be addressed as one. This pandemic has been tough on all of us, especially our mental health. I think people need mental assistance now more than ever before. As it is the Suicide Prevention Week, I urge you to take a step back and think about your mental health so you can get the help you need. If you ever happen to have suicidal thoughts, please contact 915-2987-821 immediately.
Hello, I'm Gitanjali and I'm here to talk about suicide. Suicide is basically hurting oneself in order to die. So here's how I got over my suicidal thoughts. The main reason why I even had it was basically the pandemic. All the free time gives you all these unwanted thoughts and a lot of time to overthink. And this whole transition from this college to another college and all of these changes that I wasn't ready for. Just the fact that I even my dog died, that was a triggering point. And of course I got over it, and it wasn't exactly an overnight change, obviously. Some of the symptoms that I now see is basically isolating myself. I wouldn't socialize with my family, and I would have like these massive mood swings. I'd get happy for really small things and really sad for really little things. And then the way I got out of it was to stop overthinking, keeping myself engaged, actually starting to socialize, verbalizing my feelings into journaling or anything to put out your thoughts. I hope a lot more awareness is created among especially teenagers who's going through this transitional age about suicide and how this is just a phase and it'll go and you'll move on and grow up. So this is Gitanjali. Thank you.
Suicide rates have been increasing over the past 5 decades in India. In 2019, there was an increase of 3.4%. Among women, an increase of 36.6%, and among men, an increase of 24.3%. Annual suicide rate in India is about 10.5 per 1 lakh.
The suicide rate in India is highly recorded in Puducherry and Sikkim, and the lowest is Bihar since 2018. So, as we look into this bridge and the rate, we can come to a conclusion that men has the highest population of suicide compared to women. So, there is a solution to every problem. Suicide is just not the one.
On account of Suicide Prevention Month, hereby I share my opinions on psychological and social problems that leads to depression. So firstly, when we come to psychological problems that leads to depression, sometimes people experience events such as loss of loved ones, loss of job, financial loss of support and separation, loss of faith, etc. There are some causes for depression like faulty mood, regulation of brain, genetic vulnerability, stressful life events, meditation and mental problems. So when it comes to stressful life, most of the people take time in terms of stressful events such as relationship breakdown, family disputes.
The bravest thing you could ever do is to continue your life when you wanted to die.
We need to change the culture
On this topic and make it okay to speak about mental health
And suicide.
life.
Life
life
matters.
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 Life matters.